Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. In the previous video, we implemented open location settings and open app settings method. In this video, we are going to implement a permission dialog and integrate what we have built yesterday to the UI. Aytunç, what are we going to build today?
Actually, we are building a very simple dialog, and in this dialog, right now I'm going to show my screen. As you can see, our app right now is just a simple page with some info on it, but we want to display these info not on the main page, but instead in a dialog. And we want to show that dialog when the user presses this button. This is a much better UX, and it will be a better UI as well. So if you want, we can start coding.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, give me a second. So we said we will make a dialog. Before we show a dialog, we can start a class for it, and let's name it Permission Dialog, for instance. Okay, inside of this, it will be a simple column, and we will show similar info like this, and we want our column to be as small as possible. So we are setting the main axis alignment to main axis size to main axis size dot min. Okay, and also we are going to show. I want to separate these texts so that we can give different colors and different functionalities, because we will want these buttons to be, we will want this text to be a button instead of a just text label. So let's make a concise box. All right, let's say 15. We can change these later on. And let's have a text widget that says location permission. Okay. Actually, you know what? This will be inside of a row widget. Let's make it into a row. Actually, let's not use a size box between location permission and enabled. Instead, let's use the main axis alignment property of the row widget, and let's use space between. We will deal with the paddings later on. So let me check if our recording has started. On 30, okay. Seems like it started. And our next widget is going to be a text button, because as I said, these buttons, these texts should be pressable. For now, let's just have a debug print that says location permission button pressed. And as of the child, we will again have a text widget, which for now I will say allowed. Okay. Okay. And let's copy this row here also. By the way, let's not write this without seeing the results. I will just very simply show this for now, temporarily. Yeah, let's see what will. Okay, this is just temporary to see if there is an error or not. And here it's going to be in the second row, services. In the first row, just like here, first we have the location permission, and next we have the location services, and now we have location permission here, and when I save it, we will see location services. We will make these allowed buttons to be dynamic, just like these ones. Give me some time. I want to see if the recording goes well. Seems like. Okay. Okay. Next up, let's put some padding onto this column. Yep. Okay, much better. And imagine this permission dialog being shown in a actual alert dialog. It will look much better. And above, on the top of our dialog, let's have another text widget which tells the user why we are asking their permission. So we can say something like, I don't know, please allow location permission and services to view your location. Okay, nice. And next up, let's work on showing this inside of an actual alert dialog instead of here. First, I want to, actually I will not get rid of anything other than this. Okay, much better. Now, when the user presses this button, instead of asking the permission right away, we will show the permission dialog. So let's find where that button is being pressed, and it's this outlined button. Instead of asking for request location permission, we are going to show a dialog, and showing the dialog comes from the material package. So show dialog. Okay, and we need to pass our context inside of it, and you will see that it's very useful in the builder method. And in our builder method, I'm looking at documentation. It just gives us the context back. And here we need to return a widget. We can return our permission dialog here, just to see if things will work. Most probably, yep. Sorry. Okay, let's see if anything comes up. Okay, I guess there's a problem. What does it say? Render overflex. Give me a second. Let's get rid of this padding. Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, we are showing the dialog. However, in the builder, we need to actually give a dialog that comes from material package. So we should return. This is our content. We should return an alert dialog. Okay. And let's see what they have. Actions. Okay, content. Now for the content, we can return. 1 second. Content. is just a widget. Okay, so I guess it used to be const. Exactly. Okay, let's try again. Okay, much better. Much better. And now permission dialog. This is too much. And one more before our title. Okay, this looks good. Okay, we can show our dialog, and it pops by default, and we can show it again. So now let's add the functionalities of these. First, let's add the true labels, and next, let's decide what we will do when we press these text buttons. In order to do this, just like we did with these texts, we need to use our PermissionCubit, and we need to get that info. So let's start with that. In our show dialog, in our alert, in our permission dialog, let's add two fields, and let's call them final bool. I want to copy the same names so we don't get confused. Is permission granted? And is location services enabled? So we keep same names, and now we can add these. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we are going to change these texts according to these Boolean variables. Here we can say if it is granted, it will say allowed. If it is not, it will say allow. Because const.
You should, yeah, okay. Because of const.
And similarly, we will use our second Boolean, is location source enabled, according to that to show this. Let's see, it will not work, of course, because we have to pass these here, and we need to get rid of the constant dialog in this case. Okay, let's say it's true, and before returning our alert dialog, we need to get these two variables from our PermissionCubit state class. There are several ways to do this, but Erkan, what do you think is the most suitable one here to get these values from the application level?
We can either use a block selector, or we can use context.select to assign each variable here without adding an extra nesting into the widget tree. I think using a block selector, context.select is better in this case. It's more readable.
Okay, first the context.select, we will tell them which qubit we are going to get this variable from, and it's our PermissionCubit. And we need to give it a name. Usually we use element, and then it should return us element.state dot is location permission granted. I guess there is one more parentheses, right?
Guess so.
I guess not. Okay. Yeah. The syntax is kind of weird, but as you said, it saves us from wrapping widgets And
Yeah.
our second boolean will come from again PermissionCubit, but this time it will be is location services enabled. Perfect. Now we can pass these variables to our permission dialog widget, just like this, and we will see if the correct values are going to be shown. The first one, the top one, should be enabled. So we are expecting to see allowed, and the location services is disabled. So we expect to see allow. Let's see what happens. Yeah, just like I said. And if it is already allowed, there's no reason to press on this. It's a text button, as you know. So let's get rid of that on pressed action when it's already allowed. That's our next milestone. Here on the on pressed, if it is already granted, then we will have null. If it is not, then we will have whatever we are having right now. And as you can see, it automatically became grayed out and it's not pressable, it's not tappable. We will do the same thing for location services. If location service enabled, then we are not going to be pressing it. If not, just like this. Perfect. And right now we are only printing something. We are not doing anything. As you can see, we say location permission button is pressed. However, we need to call our methods, PermissionCubit methods, the suitable ones here. So let's do that. Context.read PermissionCubit dot Erkan, in the location services one, when the user presses allow, what do we expect to happen?
We expect to open location settings of the device. I mean, there is no other way to modify this in the app, so we need to redirect the user to the location settings of the device.
Okay. I see the open app settings also. When do we use that one?
I mean, we are going to use that one for location permission in the upcoming videos. This is used when we want to go to the app settings and switch the permission state from denied to granted, for example.
Okay, makes sense. Perfect. Okay, and for our location permission, when the user presses on it, instead of opening the location settings, we need to request for location permission, of course. It makes sense. And with this one, I think the permission dialog widget is finished. And we will try if it works. Let's press on allow for location services, and we are expecting to open the location settings here. Okay. And as expected, the app takes us to the Android app settings, location settings. And when we enable the use location and go back to our app, we see it as allowed. However, okay, it works fine, but the optimal UX here, user experience here, should be that when both of these are allowed, this dialog should be dismissed automatically. The user should not need to press on somewhere else to get it dismissed. So next up we will do this. But before that, I want to first again close the location services so that we can continue doing this. As you can see, we are back again in the allow case. how can we do this? The easiest way is to use a BlocListener. BlocListener is perfect for one-time events, just like showing a dialog or dismissing a dialog. So above our scaffold, let's add a BlocListener, and it's going to be fed from the permission qubit. And next up, we write the state. Perfect. In the listener part, we will write what we want to do. In this case, it's very easy. If the dialog is open and if the user allows everything, then we want it to be dismissed. And a dialog gets dismissed by popping it. So we say context material, sorry. We just want to pop it, context dot. Hakan, do you remember the navigator, context dot navigator, I guess?
I'm not sure
1 second.
about the command. But I guess also we need to use the listen when condition, right?
Yeah, next I will do that, of course.
Yeah.
Navigator of context, most probably. Okay, yeah, perfect. I am used to use auto router. I don't usually use the vanilla navigator.
Yeah, me too.
This. Okay, perfect. Okay, and when do we want to do this? When should this happen? And there is a property for that, and we use the listen when here. And the block library gives us two states, previous and current, and we need to return a condition which will ensure that only this popping will happen when that condition is met. And the condition is previously, if location permission granted and services enabled is false, so it's going to be different than the current one. And also, the current one is both of them are enabled. So what are we doing here? We want the current to be enabled for both of these, and we want it to be changed from the previous one. So this only gives one chance. If previously one of them or both of them were not allowed, and right now both of them are allowed, then we will pop it. Let's see if this will work. Because we added something above the scaffold, it's better to reload the app. And it's already having some hard time hot reloading, but just to make sure, let's rerun the app. Okay. And we allow it. We turn on the location. And here, as you can see, the dialog popped automatically, dismissed automatically. And both of them are enabled. Erkan, do you think this is enough to showcase our dialog? Am I missing anything?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think it's enough for this video. In the next video, we can talk about how to handle what to do when the user permanently denies a permission, and how do we handle opening app settings, what kind of UX is best to do. We are going to be discussing these in the upcoming video.
Okay, so see you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.
Bye. See you.